Now that you're using VAST Point of Sale, you are solely responsible for the return of any defective, damaged, or parts that were not sold on a customer's repair order. In this instance, we're going to go through inventory management on the left-hand toolbar, and we're going to go under the receivings function, and we're going to go to outside purchase returns. Click on parts or labor. In this case, I'll choose parts. And what I always like to do is I like to put in the vendor name first of the supplier that I'm receiving or applying a credit from. In this case, I'm going to put in the letter O like O'Reilly. I'll click F1 and it shows me a list of different O'Reilly vendors that are built into my system. I'll select the O'Reilly and I'll go ahead and enter my name as the person performing the return. Now I'm at a blank outside purchase return screen here. My suggestion would now be to go ahead and click on the Add button at the bottom left-hand corner screen. By doing this, I can add as many products that are being credited on this particular return. Now, in some cases, it might just be a single item being returned for credit. In some cases, you might have a whole list of different parts that are being credited to you. In any case, I'll go ahead and click on Add at this point, and it shows me, it defaults at the top of the screen to any outside purchase orders that were created and received in today's date, 7 days, 30 days, or I could choose a calendar and go back as many days as I'd like and see all of the outside purchases that have been received in that date range or since that date. Now, in this case, I could also put in a very specific date. I could say, well, just look at today's date, and again, it narrows it down, and it just shows me the outside purchases that were received on this very specific date. Now, in this case, purchase order number 171 is what I want to return. And I see that it was invoice number 1232133 on 3/23 of 21. So basically today I ordered a part, I received it, and the part was either defective or damaged, or it was the wrong part, or for whatever reason the customer declined it and you did not sell it and you want to return it for credit. I'll simply highlight that vendor invoice and hit select. And here it shows me the part number, the quantity, the dollar amount, etc. Now the biggest thing to pay attention to here is the estimate number and the fact that it shows a 0. That tells me that this part was originally ordered for purchase order number or outside purchase order number 171. It was applied and received, but then deleted off of the customer estimate. The number of 0 is key. If I go ahead and select that, it automatically adds that part number to my outside purchase return. And it shows the return price. Assuming that you got full credit on the return, I would put in the invoice number from the supplier, the credit, put in the day's date on the credit, and the dollar amount that you're receiving from that said supplier in credit, $40.99, unless they didn't give you the full credit back. Then you could adjust the dollar amount here that they're giving you credit for and make sure that it matches in the bottom right-hand corner. If there were any additional items that were also included on this outside purchase return credit, you would simply click on Add again and go find the other vendor invoice that those parts exist on. So again, I could go back and say, show me all invoices from October 1st through today, and it shows me a whole list of different outside purchases. Obviously, if I select one of these particular outside purchases, these are all still existing parts on a work order, so I would not want to return those because it looks like they were sold to the customer. I don't have a return for those. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and do this one single return, and to finalize this, once I've put in the appropriate return price and everything matches, I simply click on Done, and that part has now been returned. I can always go back into outside purchase return for parts. I could always pull up O'Reilly again as a vendor, and I could hit F2 and see a list of all returns that have been completed in the last 7 days, 30 days, or in any calendar date range. Again, if I go back to October 1st and hit select, it shows me any outside purchase returns with that particular supplier. As you can see, no matter how far I go back, it doesn't look like I have any other returns for that supplier. But if I did, I'd select it, and it shows me all of the details as far as what was returned, the reference number, the amount, etc. And I can cancel out of there.